Most people who are great, person and or team, they want somebody outside of their greatness. Watch this. They want somebody outside of their greatness to tell them the things that they're not great at. Let's go. They want somebody outside of their greatness to be able to tell them the things that they're not great at, because if somebody can tell them the things that they are not great at, then they can make that thing even greater and they can make themselves even greater.
Let's go, let's grow, let's get it.
What's going on? My name is Carlos V. Spencer. Let's go, let's grow, let's get it. We're here with another Tuesday message. Thank you for those who've been watching and those of you who've been listening to the Visionary Podcast, the Vision Podcast. Thank you so much for those who've been commenting, you've been liking, subscribing, and sharing. Share this with somebody who I may never be able to reach. Somebody you hear, or when you're hearing this message and you say, man, I need to share this with such and such. Go ahead and share it with that person, because I can never reach them without you organically sharing it with them. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate the time. Today's message, we're going to talk about why should we have a mentor, or why should we have a coach in our life? Again, why should we have a mentor, or why should we have a coach? So I'm going to ask this question. If you're watching this, I want you to think about the greatest athlete and or sports team of all time. Who is the greatest athlete and or sports team of all time, right? And I want you to actually think of somebody. You don't have to even be a sports person to think of the names that might have come to your head. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Muhammad Ali, the New England Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Warriors, right? Who else? You could say the Cavs, right? Los Angeles Lakers, Chicago Bulls '97. Who's the greatest sports team and or athlete of all time? And this happens every time I'm able to teach this information to somebody or speak to somebody. And when I ask that question, I let them freely think of the information. You can freely think of it. If you're watching this, you're listening in, whoever came to your mind. And most people usually argue because their GOAT, right? The greatest of all time is different than somebody else's. And somebody gives a reason why this person is. You could have said Venus or Serena Williams. You could have said thousands of other names, right? You could have said somebody from another sport, from tennis, from soccer, right? From cycling, whoever, from race car driving. You could say this person is the greatest athlete and or team of all time. But you know, the thing that I usually ask people when I'm in front of them, the thing that I usually ask people when I'm able to have this conversation is, what do they all have in common? The people that I named or the people you just named, right? Or the person you named, the team you named, and the person I named. Michael Jordan is one of mine. So the person whoever you name, and that one I just named. If I name Michael Jordan, okay, if you said Michael Jordan, I said LeBron James. So now we have to do, what's the similarity between all the names, all the teams, all the people that we brought up? Some would say that they're all athletes. Oh, that's good. Some would say that they all work hard. That's another good one as well. Some would say that they're disciplined. That's good. Some would say, maybe they're regiment, right? That's good. Some would say they're popular. Maybe they're famous. All those things are true. But the thing that's the same across the board for all of them, you know what it is? They all had a coach. That's worth the price of admission right there. They all had a coach. What do you mean, Carlos? I mean, they all had somebody coaching them. They all had somebody outside of them. They all had somebody telling them or instructing them what to do. Here's the thing I know about greatness. Most people who are great, person and or team, they want somebody outside of their greatness. Watch this. They want somebody outside of their greatness to tell them the things that they're not great at. Let's go. They want somebody outside of their greatness to be able to tell them the things that they're not great at, because if somebody can tell them the things that they are not great at, then they can make that thing even greater and they can make themselves even greater. But sometimes that thing is in a blind spot. It's in a space that we can't see. It's in an area that we may not be aware of. So when somebody's in a boxing ring and they're boxing, then they go off into their corner And then their coach says something like this: hey, you dropping your jab every time you leave the jab out there. Every time you throw 2 jabs out there, you're dropping it and you're leaving your face exposed. While you're in the ring, you could be the greatest fighter of all time. You could be Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all times, right? You could be Floyd Mayweather. You could be whoever you say the greatest is. But there are some things that you may not notice while you're in the midst of your greatness. Oh, you talking good, boy. There's some things that you may not notice while you're in the midst of your greatness that somebody else who's a coach or a mentor, they're looking for the thing while the fans, oh, this is good. The fans are just looking for greatness. The coach and the mentor are looking for more ways to help you be even greater. Oh, say that again. Fans are looking for greatness. But those people who are coaches and mentors are people who are in your corner. They're looking for something inside the greatness that you can work on so that it can make you even greater. You need a coach. You need somebody outside of your greatness who can point some things out to you. So now when you go back in the ring, it's a reminder in your head to say, okay, every time I slip the jab, let me make sure that I bring the hand up so I don't expose my face because somebody made me aware of this thing that I didn't even know that I was doing. The problem with most of us, I don't want to say it, but I got to say it. The problem with most people is there are things that we don't know that we don't know. Woo! So there are things that we don't know that we don't know. And usually the things that we don't know are keeping us from getting to another level in our life. What do you mean, Carlos? I mean that sometimes it's not that you can't do the thing. Whew. It's not that you don't have the ability to do the thing. Let's go. It's not that you don't have the insight or the power or the strength to do the thing. Sometimes you just don't know the thing, and you don't know what you don't know. If I was to ask you the question, tell me something that you don't know that you don't know. You could say, oh, I don't know how to change brakes. You know that you don't know that. You could say, I don't know my mother, or I don't know my father. You know that you don't know that. You could say, I don't know how to cook. You know that you don't know that. Tell me something that you don't know. Right? That's like a brain cramp. I'm gonna let you think about that a little bit because you still thinking about some other stuff. See, you can't tell me what you don't know that you don't know because you don't know that you don't know it. And if you don't know that you don't know it, then you can't even point that thing out to make it actually better. So you need a coach and or a mentor who's outside of your greatness who can tell you the things that you don't know that you don't know. Here's the most important thing in this scenario. When they tell you the thing that you don't know, be receptive and receive the thing so you can make yourself better. I just helped your relationship. When somebody tells you the thing that you don't know, be receptive enough to take the thing in to make yourself better. Now, make sure it's a coach or a mentor or somebody who loves and cares about you. Here's the thing that I say, Carlos V. Spencer Speaks. You can tag me on it. If you're going to cut me, at least stay around to bandage me up. Oh, man, this is good. I'm going to watch this myself. If you're going to cut me, at least stay around to bandage me up. That means if you're going to tell me something that may hurt me, if you're going to tell me something that may give me a scar, if you're going to tell me something that may not feel good in the moment, at least stay around to bandage me up. Because when someone has surgery, they go through a process and a procedure. You're talking good, boy. When somebody has surgery, they go through a process and or a procedure. And when they go through this process and or the procedure, when they immediately come out of surgery, they're hurting because their body has to heal because of the surgery that they just went through. But they need the surgery that may hurt them in the short term to be able to help them in the long term. So when somebody's coaching you or mentoring you or in a relationship with you and they love you or want what's best for you, they may cut you, but they're going to stay around to bandage you up because they know they have to use precision to be able to help you get to this thing that's hurting you or going to hurt you, but they know it needs to be removed because in the long run, it's really going to show up and hurt you. If you're going to cut me, stay around me to at least bandage me up. You need a coach and or a mentor. Oh, here it is. So if all those people who are great at something or all those teams who are the greatest, who's the GOAT? Whoever you said, not who I said, whoever you said yourself who was great, that's who you said was great. They need a coach. So you telling me they needed a coach and you don't? If I hit you, I ain't trying to miss you. You telling me They need a coach, but you don't need a coach. Very interesting. You must be really good. My point that I'm making is you need a coach to be able to make yourself better. I saw Oprah Winfrey going to a Tony Robbins conference, and Oprah Winfrey is already a billionaire. I said, this is a clue. What do you mean? This is something that's showing me that no matter what level that you're on, you still need somebody outside of your greatness to be able to tell you things that you're not great at. My name is Carlos V. Spencer. I'm so glad you spent this time with me. I'm so glad you have a mentor or a coach, or I'm so glad that you're going to go out and get you a mentor or a coach. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's get it.